Hello, everyone. Welcome to this special episode of The Hype, where we focus on China ASEAN relations. While China and ASEAN have been each other's largest trading partner for 5 consecutive years now, numbers are not the only factor defining this relationship. My name is Emma Ho. I'm from Malaysia, and joining me today are three amazing women from three different ASEAN countries who have built their lives and careers here in China. Coming to you live in Beijing, Natarini, would you like to introduce yourself first?
Hi, my name is Natarini Lasumilaksen. I'm coming from Thailand, and I have been in China for nearly 12 years. I've been working here as a partner of Yinzhong Law Office for Asian practice.
Thank you. And Jane?
Hi, I'm Jane, and I've been in Beijing for 14 years. And I have a startup doing food as medicine, and I'm also a journalist.
All the way over in Shanghai, joining us online is Grace. Could you introduce yourself?
Hi guys. My name is Princess Grace Villegas Lam, and I'm in China for nearly 20 years. I work in a retail company, and that's all.
So, Grace is from the Philippines.
Yeah. Yeah.
I forgot the desk. My first question goes to Jane. We have quite a few things in common. We both grew up in Borneo. You grew up in Brunei, I grew up in Sabah. And another thing we have in common is actually the three of us have in common is that we moved to China from England.
Yeah.
I did. Yes. And then Ness was telling me just now it was because she couldn't stand the weather. I guess you felt similar things. Could you tell us more about your motivations and the circumstances that prompted you to move to China?
Well, I actually graduated from journalism school in Britain. So that was in 2011 or 10, at the end of 2010. And then I was going to start my career there as a journalist, but I did a 1-month exchange program here in Beijing.
Right.
And I thought, oh, it's really interesting here. It's kind of like unstructured, a little bit crazy, a little bit, just out of the blue, right? The things that you see on the street. So I thought it was very adventurous. And then I decided, and then during that 1-month exchange, I met the TV producer at Reuters TV. And then they offered me a full-time internship, and then which turned into a job later. So I just moved here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just the stars aligned.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And Ness, you came here initially for school.
Yeah.
You did your master's at Peking University.
Yeah, my first master was in KCR, King's College in London. And then after that, I would like to choose. I have to pick up one country that I would like to go for a second master degree. I choose between like China and Singapore. And after that, yeah, I search for something, and then I feel like, oh, I love sunshine in Beijing, and I love snowing at the same time. So I have to come to Beijing.
Yes, you can't find snow in Southeast Asia. For this why
Singapore is too hot.
Yeah, too hot. I mean, well, you did your master's, sir, but what motivated you to stay, and how did you adapt to living in Beijing, especially now that you have two kids?
Yeah. Back to 10 years ago, I feel like China is coming, but that's a feeling that I don't know. And then I talked to my dad, I have to come here. And then, yeah, right now I feel like my feeling is right. So, China play a big role in global presence. And after I came here, I feel I enjoy all 10 years that I've been here.
Yeah.
I have to adapt myself. I always talk to the coming Thai girl who wanna move to China, that I said, if you come here, you have to take like more than 5 years to adapt yourself. First, second year would be like challenging, interesting. Everything is new.
Yeah.
But after that, the third and the fourth and the fifth year would be like, oh, it's kind of torture. You can't you have to enjoy. You try to be enjoying. You have to learn more about everything about Beijing.
Yeah.
Then after 5 years pass, everything would be perfect.
Okay. I will look forward to that. I'm on my fourth year. So I'm going through that. I'm going through that phase. And Grace, who has
Yeah.
been in China the longest out of all four of us. You've been in China for the past 20 years, and you're
Yeah.
only in your late 20s. But your brothers grew up in the Philippines, and I know you're very close to them.
Yes.
So, what do you think are the main differences between you and your brothers having grown up in such different environments?
So it's quite different. So I came to China not by my choice. It's a choice made by my parents. So it was difficult in the beginning, but now I'm adapting it. Then there's 1 year when we're in middle school. My brother decided to go back to the Philippines, and I stayed in China. I think the most reason is that education in China is more harsh, and then like I can't say it's harsh, but it's more strict. And then as him, he's a little boy, in a phase that he wants to have fun. He can't handle it. And me, as a older sister, I said, yeah, I think I can handle it. And so I stayed in China. Yeah, and went to college. Did my master. And my brother in the Philippines, he having the best time of his life. I think it's a different kind of path that we choose, but um perfectly for each other. Yeah.
Mm, mm, mm. Of course. Do you think, despite the differences, what are kind of like the similarities then?
The similarity. There's one thing very special about a Chinese Filipino Chinese, that there's a lot of Chinese culture in the Philippines.
Mm.
Yeah, so we do celebrate Chinese New Year. We eat the similar food. I think that's the similarity between us.
Yeah.
But the other stuff are totally different.
Well, you've all been in China for a very long time, 10, 10, 20, well, 14, and 12, 20.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, do people find it surprising that you've been here for so long? Or like, what you said, right? You felt like China is the place to be, or does it just make sense that China is the place to be? Or has this changed throughout the years that you've been living here?
So when I was growing up in Brunei, I was known among my Chinese friends, like overseas Chinese friends, as the banana.
I get that.
I couldn't really read Chinese like they did and everything. So when I said I was going to move to China, everyone was really surprised. And everyone thought I would last like a year. I thought so too. I had plans to move on to be a war journalist in the Middle East
Yeah.
at that time. But yeah, living here, I think that people are still surprised. Like, so, more recently, China relaxed a lot of the visa requirements. So we have more visitors coming from Southeast Asia. And so some of my friends came, um, my relatives, and they were like, oh, it's quite nice here. Um, I mean, they were so surprised by it, but I've been experiencing this kind of very convenient big city life here in Beijing. And so I think, for me, it's very normal.
Yeah.
Um, and I think more and more they recognize that, oh, okay, it is very comfortable to live there.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. That's exactly the same way that my friends feel when they come visit me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, how about you, Ness?
For me, it was like 10 years ago. They moved here for education. Everybody barely knows thing about China.
Mm.
But yeah, I've been here for more than 10 years. And after that, after China have give free visa for Thai people.
Mm.
And I have a lot of friends come here to visit me.
Mm.
And then they feel like, oh, you have been here, you have been good. Everything is better than they thought. Like maybe 10 years ago, the perspective of China is not that warm.
Yeah.
Not many people know things about China.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they share something on Facebook,
Yeah.
they feel like, wow, that's amazing. The first time I took high-speed train, they would feel like amazing. But when they come here and, try by themselves, they will feel like more amazing than they thought.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think perspective change from time to time. But
Mm.
after they come and visit Beijing and leave, go back to Thailand, and they feel like, oh, I know why you enjoy life here.
Yeah. Like, my friends are here now, so I took them around recently, and then one of them was like, "Oh, I feel like I'm in the C-dramas that I'm watching." I think that has also like created a very positive perception
Yeah.
about China for other people. Um, well, I mean, after living in China, you also realize how different it is from all the other parts of the world and how fast things change here. And Grace, you work with one of the fastest growing and largest retailers here in China. And I was wondering if you could just share with us some of, you know, insights to consumer trends here these days.
So it's interesting. I entered this company 4 years ago.
Mhm.
So this company, I entered this company within the pandemic, and then now, the pandemic is over, and it went really really fast, and the biggest insight that I see is that ASEAN countries or ASEAN market is a really big market for them now.
Mhm.
Like what we say, we our our stores in every all around the world, but the biggest market now we focus is ASEAN, uh, like Indonesia, Philippines, Singapore, and Thailand, because we are a retail company, and then we give our products are like what how can I say, it's character products, IP
Yeah.
products.
Yeah. You do a lot of brand collaborations, right?
Yeah,
Especially.
brand collaborations, and like youngsters, like young peoples now are really into this brand collaboration product. I don't know if I can send a brand name, like maybe Pop Mart, Labubu, like this kind of stuff. Interest based of kind of stuff is all around the world. Everyone loves it. That's why we can see all the markets is booming, like ASEAN, like Indonesia, like Thailand. That we are working on that now, because few years ago, maybe 2 years ago, what we are targeting is the US, Europe. But this year, especially this year, all kinds of retail companies in China are targeting the Southeast Asian market. This
Yeah.
is something I see inside our company.
Yeah. So specifically with brand collaborations, you also see that younger people are the driving force of consumption now. Is that right?
Yes, we now target kids from maybe 15 to 25 years old, really young.
Really young.
Yeah, really young. It's like,
Yeah. You mentioned Labubu in Thailand as
Yeah.
well.
Very famous.
Yeah, it's
Mm.
huge, right?
Yeah.
What are some of like the other Chinese brands that you've been seeing in
Apart from IP product, it would be see a lot of mala, the restaurant, and also nai cha. It's like
Yeah.
milk tea.
Uh,
A lot of brand that we have. Ba Wang Cha Ji, you have like Cha Ji, and we also have Cha Ji in Thailand, and a long queue there. And my friends always ask me like, "Oh, have you tried?" Oh, I said I did for a while because it's coming back from China, right? So the marketing would be slower than in China for at least 6 months. So we have products and the coming 6 months they will have new products.
right.
Thailand. So yeah, I said enjoying. It's very good. It's delicious.
So you get to try it first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a chance to try it first.
Yeah. Have you seen any Chinese brands in Brunei?
Um, I hardly go back to Brunei because I like traveling the world as, but a lot of my friends are into Pop Mart.
Of course.
So that's something that for me, it's a, I'm amazed. And also actually, I think a lot of my friends' kids are getting into like, learning Chinese
Right.
and also really enjoying like the fun stuff from China.
Yeah. I'm also very surprised because some of my friends, they never learned Chinese growing up. And then also you only learn Chinese like in your 20s.
I studied Chinese. I mean, I learned Chinese by myself.
Yeah. And then And then suddenly they're like watching C-dramas and they're like so interested and they're asking me, oh yeah, how do you think someone can learn Chinese really quickly? I think there's like a lot more interest now. But back to doing business, as you consult a lot of ASEAN companies
Yeah.
who want to come to China, what are some of the biggest legal and business challenges that they would encounter?
From my experience, the Asian client would come to China. They have to face many conditions. The first thing is that Chinese regulatory change rapidly.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I sent a report this week, and the coming 2 weeks, the law changed. So I have to do the report again.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that language barrier. Like I said, 中文很难. Like, Chinese is pretty tricky sometimes, and you have to learn. You have to before clients come here, they might have to a little bit of Mandarin. You must be able at least to speak Mandarin or listen or something like that, or bring their own translator. Yeah, so that's why I do not just only translate the legal language. I do help them with the translate the expectation, their values, more than just a business, more than just legal practice.
Yeah.
And the most challenging thing is that it's quite hard to find a reliable partnership. When you come and they would like to do a joint venture like that, it can, but it's not that easy. So I would like to help them to find a sustainable partnership, not just get a quick win. So that's why.
Because it does take a lot of time, right? Building this relationship, building this trust when you're doing business, when it comes to money.
Yeah.
So Jane, when you're working on your startup, do you kind of like face similar challenges?
My startup is more of a, our customer base is here. So it's for the locals here. So in that way, we don't have the kind of like inter-country challenges. But then at the same time, for a foreigner trying to do stuff here, the banking system is different, the tax system is different. And with everything being in Chinese, I rely heavily on my Chinese colleagues to help me figure things out. And even for them, it's quite complex. So there are a lot of challenges. And also, I think trying to market stuff in a way that Chinese consumers are receptive towards and that they understand and they pick up on it. That's also a challenge for me personally.
I mean, I think it's challenging quite generally because Chinese consumers, like, they're very demanding and it changes so quickly. So businesses, when they come here, they really need to like keep up with Chinese consumers and Chinese demands. And Ness, you also consult Chinese companies who are going into the ASEAN market.
Order.
Yes. Yeah, what kind of approach would they usually take?
Right now, recently, we see a lot of Chinese company try to go to ASEAN, explore, and then, set up entity, get license, and even participate in e-commerce in ASEAN. And ASEAN is a big country, I mean, big area for China as well. So but the thing is that I found surprised that for Chinese clients, they play a big role on the studying on ASEAN law regulations, and they learn about IP, and they study for a tax structure. And I found that the new generation of Chinese clients, they know more than than before.
Right.
It's just ask to lawyer, but just talking with lawyer and discuss which one is good, which one is not good. So in that kind of thing, I feel amazing with the new era of Chinese clients.
They really make sure to make themselves informed. And I think because China is so advanced, I think it's ingrained in like everyone's head too that I am going to use the fastest technology to be able to achieve what I want in the most efficient manner.
And then focusing on scaling and innovation. Yeah, they try to use AI, and then even sometimes it's quite a bit rush. So you have to slow them down.
Yeah.
To make sure that everything will be good and don't need to be too worried.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you push too much, you might lose confidence. I mean, lose like relationship with us, because in ASEAN they have like more than 10 way of countries of business practice. So yeah, slow down, please. A little bit, in Thailand or in many countries they don't have the word for like 着急. Yeah, but in China, I have to explain it. But sometimes you cannot be 着急. It's not.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
Yeah. It's like they're a little bit impatient.
Yeah, we can get a little bit impatient.
The last time I went back to Brunei, which was just like 2 years ago, so there's like a big Chinese cooperation with the oil industry there.
Yes.
And so some of my friends in the industry were taking me aside, asking me, are they like, they seem to be so 着急.
Yeah.
Come across pushy. Yeah.
And now I'm fried.
How should I deal with that sort of thing? And so that it was interesting for me that they were asking me, because I live here, and then they just felt that I would understand the culture.
Yeah.
And then I was able to explain some, So I felt quite proud of myself.
Yeah, well, that it's very difficult.
Yeah.
The pace in China is very quick, very fast, and then but after 5 years you get used to it. And then you go back. When I go back to Thailand, and my friends say like, "Oh no, slow down, please. Don't be that 着急,
Yes.
Yeah.
I think for me, actually, I calmed down a lot after I came to China.
Oh.
Because things change so quickly. So if you're too fixated on this one thing, actually, it might just disappear the next day. And then you have to change your plans completely. So I've learned actually how to chill out.
Oh, okay.
In China, I've learned that, like, I have my plans, and then, but you have to go with the flow at the same time. So I think it's very interesting, the kind of environment that we're put in. And I think it's also very interesting when, like, I came from England to China, because the UK is such a developed society. Everything is structured.
Yeah.
Everything is in place.
Yeah.
And then when I came here, I'm like, where do I go? What do I do? And then you go to this.
Anything's possible.
Exactly. So, well, I mean, Grace, what are kind of like the cultural differences that you've seen between the Philippines and China, especially when it comes to doing business?
Doing business, yeah, you guys mentioned it, like Chinese are impatient. But I already adapted. I'm the most impatient one now because, in the retail company, everything is fast. You need to be super fast. So there's some fun fact about it. Like, we had a new colleague in. She works with Japanese company like for a really long time. And then one day she asked me quietly. She said, "Are you guys always these fast? Like, why do we need to give out the proposal within 2 days?" I said, "This is China speed. You need to get used to it. This is how fast we can do." And then into business, I cannot think of anything different between Philippines and China because I don't do business with Philippine market now. But something special about my company is that I am a foreign employee. But I actually don't do any foreign business. I do what local Chinese colleagues do. So one thing I want to share with you guys is that I still think it's really it's shocked that we take naps.
Take naps.
Oh, nap time.
Do you take naps? In your
I get used to it already.
Do you take it really?
Yeah.
Oh God.
I'm a terrible.
Yeah, 1 year, like 1 hour within the lunch break. Like, we turn off the light. Everyone sleep on their desk. It's like, this is nap time. I was like, oh, I'm really amazed about it. Still now, every time I talk about it to my friends, I was like, really? You guys sleep together in the office? I'm like, yeah.
I think, like, I've spoken to PhD students when we were in Tsinghua that were from other countries and also Japan. And then they were saying to me, oh, even in the labs, we take nap.
Yeah, in the library,
Yeah.
in Beida library.
Always the library too. Yeah, they would take naps in the laboratory, in the library. And then they were like, this makes sense because you just get tired after eating.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's life changing.
Okay,
In Guangzhou, we take naps, but in Shanghai, I learned that they don't take naps in Shanghai.
Oh, yeah, in Shenzhen as well.
Yeah.
Shenzhen.
There's culture difference within China.
Take nap.
oh yeah, there's culture difference within China. Yeah.
Fun.
I haven't been taking naps. I think I haven't reached my 5 year yet. Maybe after 5 years, I will start taking naps.
You're not tired enough.
Oh, okay. I guess the nature of our jobs is very different too. Yeah. That is nap culture.
Mm.
Yeah. Any other kind of more unique things in China that you find? I think just now we were talking about how competitive everything is.
For me, would be like zhongyi, like Chinese medicine, Chinese, I think it's pretty good. It works. Yeah, it works. Keep you healthy. Like doing like the zhongyi asks you to do.
Yeah. I mean, you take a very different approach.
Yeah. With food, I find that people in China are very receptive. I think that there's certain things that I think in the West or in more the so-called developed countries, people have their mindsets on food, right? And they're very sure of it. But then here, I find that people are more open.
Yeah.
Like when you talk to them about food and how it can impact your health, and then they're like, "Oh, really?" Whereas I think a lot of people outside of China hold to like, no, it's, that's scientific and that's scientific, and so they push out other ideas.
Right. I think I guess it's also why in China people are so receptive towards innovation. Right? It's kind of like the same logic behind that. And also like with TCM, there's also many branches. And I know there's like even things like Zhangyi, which is also kind of like a different kind of branch. And in China, there's just such a vast market and people are just open to things here. Yeah. Well, I think it's very cool that we're here and being able to share like our kind of cultures and our, things about our country to the people around us. Is there anything, about your culture and your country that you want to share with our audience?
Me first? Yeah, for my Chinese friend, they know Thailand for like beautiful beach, spicy food, and some durian, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, what I would like to share is that in Thailand, we have like more than 10 meanings of smile. Sometimes we smile because we feel embarrassed. Sometimes we smile because it's funny. Sometimes we smile because 我不会说中文, but smile.
Yeah.
So
yes.
yeah, in Thailand, I keep smiling like many times a day. So that's why I might keep getting tired of. Yeah. So if you go to Thailand, when you talk to Thai people, and then when people smile, you might have to guess what smile it is.
So can you read all the different smiles?
Yeah, but because in Thai, I know like, sometimes it's direct, sometimes it's indirect meaning of smile. But sometimes a lot of Thai people, I don't know what to say. That's an introvert smile. And that's just funny,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think smiling can take you a long way. Sometimes when you don't know what to say, you smile and you nod and then that's smiling.
Yeah. And sometimes it's just funny thing that like actually we smile because it feels fun, it's good, it's like we're happy.
It's an expression.
Yeah, it's just an expression. But yeah, for Thai people would be smile because we're embarrassed. But we still smile.
Yeah. What about you, Jade?
Well, I was thinking there's a lot of quirky things about Brunei.
Yeah.
Actually, growing up, our weekends were always Friday and Sunday. So Saturday was a work day. And so after I left Brunei, so I was in New Zealand, and there would be times when I would get up on Saturday and I'm ready to go to school.
Grace, is there anything you want to share about Philippines?
There's a lot of things that people know about Philippines that we sing. We can sing, we can dance. There's a lot of beaches. Yeah, it's a very everyone there is very kind. And yeah, I was thinking, what do people don't know about the Philippines? Like, I think one thing that I really want to share with everyone is that every time people ask me, "Oh, where are you from?" I was like, "Oh, I'm from the Philippines." What kind of language do you speak? I was like, do you speak English? We said, no, we Filipinos speak Tagalog. So I should tell everyone, Philippine language is Tagalog. This is something I want to tell you guys, yeah.
I think you taught me one word. What was it? Mabuhay?
Yeah, mabuhay.
That's
It's like, yeah, have a nice day, something like that.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, mabuhay.
Mabuhay. Do you guys want to share like one word you think our audience should know in your language?
For me, a lot of people knows, สวัสดีค่ะ สวัสดีค่ะ ขอบคุณค่ะ 还有สวยจริงๆ สวยจริงๆ is like beautiful.
Oh, that's a Thai word.
Yeah, สวยจริง
It sounds very Chinese.
Yeah, สวย in Chinese they would translate like สวยจริงๆ but yeah, in Thailand we would like สวยจริง
Oh, I know soy is like
water.
oh, well, I like in Thai.
Yo, in Thai สวย
Pretty, right?
Yeah, สวย pretty. Yeah, สวยจริงๆ really cute, really, yeah, pretty.
I know like it's like 555.
Yeah, we do it for funny. And we keep smiling.
Yeah.
And but that smile is just for funny.
Yeah.
Is that awkward smile? Awkward smile?
Oh, at some time, yes. Sometimes for 555, like,
Yeah.
ooh.
Yeah.
We would share it like, oh, sometimes we don't know what to say, so it 555. So, but sometimes if it's really fun, so we just 555.
Yeah, yeah.
But sometimes in an awkward, like, ganga, we don't have anything to say, we just 555.
Okay.
And then in Chinese, ooh, 5, like,
Yeah.
would be like crying. Somebody like introvert and like crying, like when they type ooh, and then it would be like, why you crying? Yeah. Yeah, but sometimes because I have to type like ha ha ha, but I forget I use Thai like 555, and then yeah. Then my friend would ask me like, why are you crying?
That's so funny.
Yeah, and a lot of meanings for 555.
Right. It's a super smile.
Yeah, like smiles. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's like how I use lol basically. If I don't know what to say, LOL, but like in small letters. Like if I actually find it funny, it will be capital letters LOL. Yeah. Yeah. Just, for the record. Yeah. Well, I think this concludes our discussion for today. Thank you everyone for joining us, and Selamat Hari Raya to all my fellow Malaysians who are watching and to those that are celebrating.